You've done the work. You know the practices. But why does it still feel like your body is bracing for something? Why does a single text message send your heart racing? Why do you still second guess your decisions even after all your growth? Hey, beautiful human, it's me, Rebecca Wiener McGregor, and welcome to another episode of Effective Immediately, the show where we talk mindset, leadership, and abundance, and the subconscious shifts that change your life effective immediately. All right. The answer to that is because you cannot regulate what you still judge. You cannot regulate what you still judge. Now, what does this even mean? We're going to dive into this today until you feel safe with yourself. Not just managing your emotions, but feel safe within yourself. Your nervous system will continue to stay in defense, constantly looking for danger, constantly in that hypervigilant state. All right, so this is going to be a powerful one, and I want to share a story with you. I was speaking to a woman last week, brilliant, successful, a leader in every sense. And she has been doing breath work. She's been doing somatic tools. She's been journaling and doing the mindset work and everything. You name it, she's tried and been doing everything, right? And yet her chest still tightens when she needs to set a boundary. Her breath still catches when she feels like she doesn't respond to someone fast enough. She said to me, I know I should feel better. I have everything. Such a common story, right? We've heard it time and time again. She says, it always feels like there's something about to go wrong. Okay, so if you've ever felt that, just take a breath and honor that part of you. Even if you've healed it, even if you have done the work, worked with me, healed it already, even if it's in there somewhere, even if it's something that you've never even recognized in yourself, just give yourself a breath and acknowledge it. The truth is that it's not that she wasn't doing enough. Lord knows she was doing plenty, right? That part of you, if you feel that drive that you must drive to produce, you must be on top of everything at all times, you're doing enough. It's not that you're not doing enough. It's that the nervous system doesn't feel safe. The subconscious mind doesn't feel safe doing those things. Being calm, letting go, being still, making decisions and not second guessing, those sorts of things. So give yourself a breath. The part of herself, that subconscious part of herself, was still judging herself, still judging her past, still judging her childhood, where the patterns come into play, still judging her past self, still judging her old mistakes, still judging old decisions that didn't turn out perfectly, still even judging successes that weren't as successful as they could have been. So just kind of zoom out a little bit and think about the times that you judge yourself. And then maybe, because we're all mirrors, judging other people because of it. But thinking about how often you have judged yourself as being too sensitive, too much, or not calm enough. What a story to tell yourself, right? And if this is happening often for you and you are talking to yourself in a way that is judgmental or even moving into super unkind because your body is not operating the way you want it to, there's pain, there's tightness, there's tension when there quote unquote shouldn't be. This is for you. So give yourself a breath, give yourself some love. I know I always say that, but I truly mean it. This is not the time for you to judge yourself. This is the time for you to lean in and listen and explore with curiosity what's happening to you, because I'm also going to give you the solution to help you release this from your body, from your subconscious mind. Okay? The tools that we have to feel better can often be weaponized. Yeah, I'm going to say that again. The tools that we have to feel better, the things that we often use to help ourselves feel better or calm down in these kind of situations have been weaponized. For example, you cannot out-journal your judgment. You cannot out-gratitude your anxiety. You cannot out-gratitude the pain. And if you've regulated from a place of, I shouldn't feel this way, you're not soothing your nervous system, you're subtly shaming it. And these experiences, these things, so you're either shaming it or potentially you are sidestepping it. You're using it to bypass your true feelings. How do I know that this happens? Well, because it happens all over the place. If you've ever heard someone say, well, you should just be grateful for what you have. Or if you've ever told yourself when you felt like a goal was too far away, you just be grateful. Can't you just be happy with what you have? And then deciding to feel grateful for what you have. Yes, gratitude is a very powerful practice. And we've talked about that on this show before, how powerful these things are on their own. But when you're using them to bypass your feelings or shame yourself, you're using them as a weapon against yourself. I know. True healing requires emotional permission. Permission to feel. Permission to be human. Permission to have reactions and to not punish them, those reactions internally. Let's be clear. I'm calm now isn't real calm if your inner voice is saying, thank God you got yourself together. That was embarrassing. When your body hears those kinds of words, what it really hears is still not good enough. Try harder. That's not healing, right? That is self-rejection in a prettier package, and we don't need that. Nobody needs that. Most high-functioning women are not in total collapse. The women that I work with don't come to me from a hospital, right? They're not calling because they've been hospitalized for their burnout. They're in high-functioning freeze. They check the boxes, they smile on the Zoom calls, they lead the calls, they make the decisions, but their bodies are still gripping. And if you ask them if they have pain in their body, for example, oh, you have a headache today, what's your headache level, 0 to 10, 10 being the worst ever, they'll give you a 5 or 6, and you know that's probably a 7 or an 8, right? Because they've gotten so used to pushing down the pain, pushing away their feelings, not letting themselves feel because they don't want to be a failure. They don't want to be seen as weak. So they're, like I said, they're on the Zoom calls, they're making decisions, but the bodies are still gripping, still bracing. The tightness in the chest, the swirling of the stomach, the tension in the head, the migraine that came out of nowhere, that feeling of uncertainty that just grips them. This is the subconscious mind reacting. This is not a personality flaw, okay? This is old experiences being acknowledged by the subconscious mind, trying to keep you safe. And if we've said it once, we've said it 100 times on this show, right? The subconscious mind doesn't care about your happiness. It doesn't care about your leadership. It doesn't care about your community. It doesn't care about your joy. It doesn't care about your vision. It only cares about keeping you safe. And by keeping you safe, often that can mean freezing you, not letting you move forward. It'll stop you in your tracks with indecision, with analysis paralysis, with ruminating thoughts, with pushing yourself when you don't need to be pushing yourself, telling you to just go further and do more because that's the way out of it. What have you learned, right? If you have felt this, somewhere along the line, the lesson has been learned that said, you can have emotions, but only the pretty ones. You can have rest, but only after you've earned it. You can ask for help, but only if you never really need it. Yeah, that last one's a biggie. right? My friend was just saying, hey, I always get so upset when nobody offers to help me, but I don't ever ask for help. And then I just get resentful, right? We've all been trained to do. Push, push, push. Many women have been trained in this way to do it the right way, do it the pretty way, do it the best way, not bother anybody else, not rock the boat, not cause a scene, not be seen as weak. But the truth is, this kind of emotional perfectionism keeps the system, the subconscious mind, and the body in a constant loop of perform, regulate, scold, repeat. Perform, regulate, scold, repeat. And what if you could drop that performance altogether? With yourself first and with everybody else. Let's shift this paradigm. Instead of, I need to calm down, try, there's a part of me that is trying to protect me. What does she need to feel safe? Instead of, oh, I can't believe I'm triggered again, or I can't believe I'm activated again, or I can't believe I'm having another panic attack, or I can't believe I'm so angry right now. When it doesn't match the situation, try, of course this hurts. I'm allowed to feel that. What if the way that you're talking to yourself got to change just a little bit, and you started loving yourself, started speaking to yourself as if you really cared about yourself? Not about winning or succeeding more than caring about yourself, but caring about yourself more than that. This moment that you stop fixing yourself and start listening to yourself, your body will begin to exhale. You can feel it, right? Your system, your nervous system stops preparing for war. Your energy softens. That part of you that's always on the defense starts to relax. And you know what? The people around you are going to feel this. They aren't going to notice it consciously, but they're going to feel your energy in a different way. They're going to feel your leadership in a different way. Your return to leadership, not because you have shoved things down, but because you created a space for your emotions to be honored. That means you create a space for other people's emotions to be honored. When your energy shifts in that way, everyone can feel it. The people who are for you and the people who are against you. They don't notice it consciously. They just feel the shift in your energy, in your leadership, in your way of being, in your state. Now, if this resonates and you've been doing all the things, then you're probably still waiting for peace to find you, right? You're probably still waiting for peace to land. Like, if I just get this thing done, peace will feel better. I'll have peace. If I just move through this, then I can wake up and I won't have that anxious feeling. If I just reach this goal, I'll just feel so much better. Life will be so much easier, right? And I want you to think about how many times you've told yourself that. All I have to do is get through this. When I get through this thing, things will be so much easier. Yes, and when I get through this event, okay, I can relax then, right? If I just get through this, if I just get through this, if I just keep pushing, things will eventually get better and easier. But the truth is, that's not the way the nervous system works. That's not the way the subconscious mind works. It just keeps collecting more and more data to support the patterns that are already there. That's why anxiety doesn't usually get better on its own. That's why migraines don't just magically start going away. That's why burnout doesn't just one day cure itself because you get an extra hour of sleep or take an extra nap. Because our subconscious mind is running these patterns that run over 90% of our daily function and decisions, actions, and emotions. And I know you want more for yourself. I know you want more for your life. That's why you're here watching. That's why you're here listening. Because getting to your next level is so much easier when your subconscious mind is on board, when your subconscious mind is relaxed. And it is my joy to help you to achieve your goals, to expand your vision, to achieve and do all of this while feeling really, really good and having a life that feels as good on the inside as it looks on the outside. Your subconscious mind is the path there. That's why you've been trying all the things. You've been doing all the possible tactics, right? You've learned all the strategies, the mindset, the somatics, the whatever, and it hasn't moved it. It hasn't gone deep enough because the depth required is what helps you get to your subconscious mind, and that's what hypnosis does. And we can do it fast. This is not just about mindset. This is not just about behavior. It is nervous system recalibration. It is subconscious reprogramming. It is the kind of emotional safety that replaces that need to perform. And inside this wonderful work that we do together, we go to the root. We're no longer managing the symptoms. We're no longer managing the panic, the headache, the tension, the indecision. That's not the core. The core is the old patterns that have been living inside of you for a very long time. Most of them since you were age 3. And when we get to the root and make those shifts at the root level, you feel instant change, instant peace. And you get to continue to build from that foundation. Your results will come quickly. You will feel it in your first session. You'll feel it when you have a calm morning the next day, when you have a clear boundary or a standard that you feel you can have in place without questioning yourself. And it becomes matter of fact to you. And you can have overflow without emotional overload. You can have movement in your life toward your vision without being burned out, without maxing out your emotional bandwidth. And your creativity comes flooding in to help you find solutions to getting to your next level, to tap into your next level creativity, maybe even your next level legacy work that you want to create. That is all we can do together. Okay, so for your effective immediately moment of the week, if you haven't felt a shift already, I want you to put your hand on your heart. And I want you to say to yourself, I choose love over judgment. I choose love over judgment. I choose love over judgment. Practice loving yourself in those moments. Reach out if this resonates to you so that we can get you started quickly. And take such good care of yourself in such a different way without the judgment that your body will actually wonder, oh, is this what it feels like to be loved? Loved by me? Surprise your body. Surprise her and let her feel that love. All right, have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.